What is up, my friends? Welcome to my channel. Well, here's an update on my portfolio. We're just a little bit above $250,000 currently. And today I did sell an option on QQQ, and I'm currently in an option on QQQ. So if we open up QQQ, or the Nasdaq, and I tried to do a day trade earlier this morning, but unfortunately I was not able to. I figured, well, I wanted to kind of replicate what I did yesterday, or copy what I did yesterday. Yesterday I did a day trade and made $300 on a trade yesterday, and so I thought, well, I'll just try to do the same thing today. Do a day trade and try to make like 300 bucks or something. But of course that didn't work out because I bought for $6.96. I have 300 shares at $6.96. And so what I decided to do was I decided to sell a covered call. So I did sell a covered call. So if we scroll down here, we'll be able to see just how much I made on this covered call. So we'll go here. Actually, it's this covered call right here. It says a negative 78. So if we open that up, because I bought the covered call back to get out of it. Okay, so originally I got paid like, I don't know, it was about $2.50 maybe for 300 shares for the call. And so as the call started to make me money, because there is a profit here, here's a realized profit. As you guys can see here, I was supposed to make at the end of the day, if I would have just allowed it to close at the end of the day, then I would have made $668. But I decided to pay to close, or the cost to close this call was $78. So I decided to close it by paying $78, and I made $590 today. And then I immediately decided to get into another call that expires tomorrow. So let me show you guys that call. That's this one right here. And so this call expires tomorrow. By tomorrow at the end of the day, the strike price is a $6.97. And of course, if it's out of the money. It's out of the money by $1. So if it gets called away from me for $6.97, I make an extra $300 above the $800 that I received for the call. Of course, if it doesn't reach that price, then I'll just get the $800, which is fine by me. And then on Monday, just sell another call on Monday. So hopefully, I personally would prefer for it to be called away from me. It's fairly close. It's $6.94 right now. So just a couple more dollars up to the $6.97, and it may be called away from me. And so if it's called away from me, I will make about $1,000 tomorrow. If it's not called away from me, then it'll make me $800, which would be fine by me. So far this week, from day trading, selling cash secured puts, selling covered calls, I'm fairly close to making about $3,700 for the week. If I just owned TDAC, for example, if I went all in on TDAC, then it would pay me about $3,600 per month if I went all in with all my cash. But since I've just been doing it myself, trading myself, I've been able to generate just about $3,600 for this week. And so if we go over to my calculator, because I've somewhat calculated here a bunch of times how many. Okay, yeah, here it is. Okay, so according to this, here's a few trades that I've made. So if it turns out this last one for $1,104 is if the shares are called away from me on Friday. So if the shares are called away from me on Friday, I should make $3,965 for the week. If they're not called away from me, then it'll only be $800. So far I've made by selling and day trading, selling calls and selling options and day trading. One day I made $257. Another day I made $994. A day trade for $300. A cash secured put for $654. Another cash secured put for $66. That $590 is from today, and that estimated potentially $1,104 for today and tomorrow. Otherwise, it'll just be $800, depending on what happens tomorrow. So, fairly close to making about $4,000 for the week. And if I were just to go all in on TDAC, for example, here I believe I have it here, just a this is a dividend tracker that I've used in the past. Gives you a rough estimate of what you would make on a monthly basis on this holding in TDAC. So this is TDAC. And so if I would go all in with all my money into TDAC, I would own a little bit over 9,000 shares, and TDAC would pay on a monthly basis. If we go to here, let's open that up a little bit larger. On a monthly basis, if I went all in on TDAC, I would make this amount right here, $3,600 basically per month. But I mean, why would I do that if I'm close to making about $4,000 this week, in 1 week? So I don't know if I'm going to be able to make that every single week. Hopefully I'm able to make hopefully I'm able to make that amount every single week. That would be nice. But so far this week, that's just about what I've made. So it makes more sense to me to just put in the work myself and just trade myself. So yeah, those are the results from 1 week of trading, day trading and trading options. And so hopefully I can continue to be consistent at day trading and trading options and just consistently making money on the Nasdaq. So yeah, please like, share, and subscribe. I really would appreciate it if you guys would do that for me. Thanks for watching. You guys have a good one. God bless. We will catch you in the next video. Bye.